All right, guys, we're going to take a look at some new releases from Victorinox, and it's not often I get to see this brand with watches. Certainly, I carry the little 58 millimeter Swiss Army knife, and that's from the same company, and they're proudly displaying that on the case backs. I'll show you that in a moment. I'm going to start off with the Quartz model here, because we have a Quartz and an Auto, but I'm going to start off with the Quartz, I think because this is the one that most people are going to buy if they're looking at these. That's just my personal assumption. Could be wrong, but I could be right. So this one is the 241975, retail price $525. So I have to say big thanks to Saltzman's, Richard over at Saltzman's in Rhode Island for sending these over. I'll put a link down below in the description. You can click that and you can get a hold of Richard or the gang over there and get yourself a Victorinox or whatever. You know, they carry a bunch of different brands, but we're just going to focus on these Victorinox today. Now, just quick disclaimer, there are some things here that I'm not sure on. And again, I will put a link down below directly to the Victorinox website so you can look at the same thing that I'm getting my information from. And if I don't know, I don't know. Like, I actually legitimately tried to research a couple of things with this watch, both the movement and the material used on the bezel insert, and I couldn't find any information on it. So let's quickly cover that. I suspect, I could be wrong, but I suspect the movement inside here is going to be a Harley Ronda, probably a 515, but I could be wrong. It might be an ETA quartz, but it is an anti-magnetic ISO certification on this watch. I think they achieved that by a soft iron cage, which is not that difficult to do with a quartz watch because there's room in there for that. I don't think it's an actual anti-magnetic quartz movement. I think it's a cage around it. I could be wrong. And then as far as the bezel material, it seems like it's ceramic, but I really don't know. It's difficult to tell. It might not be ceramic. It might be some sort of coated steel or something. It's hard to tell. We'll take a closer look and maybe we can figure it out together. But as we're looking at these, let's talk about the size. The case is basically 43 millimeter. The bezel's like 44. It overhangs just a little bit. Well, actually about a half millimeter on each side. That's why it's 44. The lug to lug is a 54 millimeter. The thickness is only 12.6, so it's nice spread out platform to adjust comfort on wrist. The lug width is 21 millimeter. I know that's kind of weird, but the straps and the bracelets are both really good, so that's what you're going to want to stick with for the most case if you buy these. 7.5 millimeter screw down crown, 200 meter water resist. Here's a quick look at the case back. Zoom in so you can see that. I love that they actually put the little Swiss Army knife on there, and they have proudly printed on there from the same manufacturer. Genuine rubber straps, has these extra little red portions here. Quick release spring bars, and that's also going to be quick release on the bracelet. I'll show you that. A lot of dimension to the dial, and check out that handset. They're like rectangles, but with loomed portions kind of set in there. So it has the relief there, so you can see both the 24-hour track and whatever else that you want to see underneath there. So date at the 6 o'clock, nicely done Arabics, and then of course the Victorinox shield up there at the 12 o'clock. And like I said, this one is anti-magnetic. Check out the way the bezel design is too. 1884 printed on a flat portion here, fully polished. And then you have a really nice countdown right here with a red arrow at 15. That's for timing your dives. 120 click bezel. Nice bezel action, very smooth, and it lines up. It better line up with that flat portion right there. So, all right. Let's pop this one on wrist, and then we'll take a look at the automatic. Now, the automatic, I'm going to have a little bit more information on the movement because you can see it. So here it is on my 7.25-inch wrist. It's a big boy watch for sure, but there's a lot of guys out there, we can't just look at 38 millimeters or 40 or 41 or whatever like that. We got to look at some of these larger watches too. There's tons of people out there in the big wrist club, or they just like the big watches. And that's who this watch is going to be for. Now this one Has a higher retail price, $1,050. This is the 241981, and this is an automatic in black with yellow accents. Take a closer look at this guy. You can see there, very clean, legible. Nice sweep to the seconds hand. Now this bezel insert definitely looks more ceramic because it's full polished, whereas the blue one, I'm not sure on. This one definitely has more of a ceramic look to it. Again, 120 click, nice smooth operation. And then of course you have a really nice bracelet. Shorter links, they are split pins. You can see there's the split, there's the pin, and then there's arrows. This one comes on a butterfly clasp, but it also has a safety catch. So you open this guy, and check that out. We have ceramic ball bearing in there, but I think it's just for this. Yeah, there's no other ball bearings there, so it's just for that piece. Another thing, I don't know if it showed, yeah, it's on both cases. I wanted to show this too. It also actually says stainless steel AISI 316L right on the side of the case. If we look at the case back on this one, they have it, they still have the knife logo on the glass. Both these have sapphire on the front. And then this one says 26 jewel, and I was able to sneak a peek up in there next to the escapement, and I could see SW200. So this has a Sellita SW200 in it. It's going to be too hard to show on this camera with this angle. Maybe you might be able to see it kind of right there if you can pause it and zoom in, but that's where it's at. It's all those IDs are right up there. And then this one, again, has a quick release spring bars. So you just push that guy in, and it'll, well, you just push it in, and it releases the pins, just like so. Zoom back out so you can see that. And then you can just put it back the same way. Very easy to do. So we're seeing that on watches like this, man. I'm really hoping we're going to start seeing some quick release stuff. Now you got to watch that. Double check your, so you want to make sure it's clicked in. There you go. Now it's clicked in. Give it a nice little tug. Make sure it's clicked in all the way. But it is nice to have those quick release features on a lot of these watches because then you have quick change outs and you can enjoy a watch in a different way with a bracelet or a strap. Here's the metal one on wrist. Of course, it's not sized up, but it does extend the lug to lug a little bit more because you have the male end link. So that's going to be a deal breaker for some people because it's already 54 millimeter. So you're going to really push that out there. It's already reaching the limit of my wrist even. So, which, you know, some people ask me that, but I don't know what my wrist span is here. But that one definitely reaches towards the edge there. So, alrighty, let's kill the lights and check the lume. Give them a quick cheat blast. Again, big thanks to Saltzman's, Richard and the crew out there. Here's a look at the lume. Excellent lume in either watch. So there you go. Click the link down below if you were interested in picking up one of these Victorinox, and tell those good folks over at Saltzman's that Random Rob sent you. I'll see you on the next video.